Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Fire Emblem Heroes, and today we are going to be taking a look at the weapon refinery update for Selleth, Julia, Deidre, and Tailtiu. If you have any questions about anything, then please go right ahead and comment down below. Let's begin with Seliph. His upgrade Tyrfing basically got innate miracle and attack defense bond. It's actually not the same as Miracle Special because his Miracle has a HP threshold attached to it instead of a 5 charge special tag. It only works if Selleth has 50% or greater HP at the start of combat. His weapon refine is very interesting because I believe he's the only unit with a special effect in his weapon, so this means that Selleth is able to have Miracle and combine it with other specials like Bonfire, Ether, Blue Flame, and etc. So that's pretty cool. But the question is this a good refine? It seems underwhelming at first glance, but this weapon actually improves his bad matchups, and I can give you some examples to show you what I mean. First, he's now able to survive attacks from mages and one round KO them on the counter attack with distant counter and quicker posts. Before, with Divine Tyrfing, he either A, couldn't survive mage attacks, or B, he couldn't defeat some mages in combat. The reason for that is because he's really slow and has really bad resistance, so he needed Deflect Magic 3 seal in order to survive the second attack from a mage. But if he has Deflect Magic 3 equipped, that means he can't use quicker post, so he lost out on his ability to double. Now with the new refine, you can give him distant counter, quicker post, and basically anything you want in the seal slot, and he can become an effective enemy phase mage killer. And as long as you give him a 3 cooldown special like Bonfire or Blue Flame, then he can still do pretty well against melee foes. In fact, with Miracle built into his weapon, he can survive almost every Bolt Fighter armor foe on enemy phase. If you want him to specialize against melee foes, then Ether, Steady Breath, Mystic Boost, Quicker Post Seal might be a good set for him. With this set, he can activate Ether on his second counterattack. Both Ether and Mystic Boost are there to help keep his health above 50%. Anyways, I think mages and Bolt Fighter armors are like the only two kind of matchups that this weapon is really good for. Nothing else really comes to mind. Overall, I do like his weapon. I think it's really unique. His refine doesn't make him like crazy good or anything. It's just a nice little niche for him. Next up is Tailtiu. She has Wrath and Darting Blow 3. This is a really good offensive refine for Tailtiu. Ranged units cannot inherit Wrath to their B slot, so Tailtiu is the only ranged unit in the game that has it. There's honestly not much to discuss about here because her weapon is fairly straightforward. If you so happen to have a trained up 5-star Tailtiu that uses Blar Blade, chances are that build probably also works with her new refined weapon. If you're having trouble building Tailtiu, then I would recommend thinking about combining the Wrath effect from her weapon with a 3 charge damage special, Desperation, and Flashing Blade seal. With this cookie cutter set, you can use her to take out a ranged foe first so she can take a little bit of counterattack damage to drop low enough to activate the Wrath effect from her weapon and Desperation skill. Then on the following player phase, Wrath will decrease her special from 3 to 2. Now thanks to Desperation, Flashing Blade, and her hella high speed, she can attack twice immediately and activate her special on the second attack. And there's a bunch of different other variations of the same build that you can give her. Her A slot is very flexible since she's gaining so much speed from her weapon. You can give her Fury, Swift Sparrow, Death Blow 4, Death Blow 3, and etc. They all serve the same purpose, which is player phase 1 round KOing, and like I said earlier, she's pretty straightforward. Next is Julia and her Naga. It has effectiveness against dragon foes, and she gains 4 defense and resistance during combat on enemy phase. In addition, when she's in combat with a dragon foe, she disables the dragon foe's adaptive damage effect and Julia gains close counter. There's 2 things that I want to mention. First, she only gets close counter versus dragons, and second, the effect that says calculate damage from staff like other weapons, that effect is apparently a typo. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense for Naga's effect to work exclusively on dragons and also have an anti-staff effect as well. Anyways, with her newly refined Naga, Julia is basically an anti-dragon killing machine on both phases, especially enemy phase. Dragons will no longer hit her weak defense stats, so now Julia can actually survive initiations and counterattacks from them. Like before, Julia would evaporate if she got doubled by a dragon. Now the tides have turned. I'm pretty sure she can even survive red dragons as well now since she has pretty good base resistance. As for builds, she's really limited when it comes to that. I think a quick post set is pretty much standard for her. The A slot is where she has a few flexible options. Anything that increases her resistance is good on her. You want to give her as much res as possible, so not only can she be used to tank dragons, but other mages as well. So things like Mirror Stance, Attack Res Bond, or even Attack Res Solo if she's on a team using tactic skills can work. Last but not least is Julia's and Deidre's Divine Naga. Julia ended up getting the Refine for both Nagas, while Deidre only got the Divine version. Divine Naga grants dragon effectiveness. It neutralizes foes' display buffs like fortifies, rallies, tactics, and etc. during combat, and disables the adaptive damage effect just like the regular Naga does. Then at the start of combat, if unit's resistance is higher than the foe's by 3, then the unit gains 3 in attack, speed, defense, and resistance during combat. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty bland effect, but it's not too bad. 12 free stats and no adaptive dragon is a good refine considering what kind of unit Deidre and Julia are. I think Divine Naga works much better on Deidre than Julia if you compare the stats. They are fairly similar, but Deidre does have an edge in resistance, and having higher res is going to be important for Divine Naga's effect. Julia can run it fairly well too if she has a res boon. She obviously has the option to go with Divine Naga or regular Naga. Not one is better than the other, it really depends on how you want to use her. If you want to build her as a generalist that has a wider variety of winning matchups, then go with Divine Naga. If you want her to be more of a specialist that can clean house versus every colored dragon on enemy phase, then give her regular Naga. Also, Divine Naga is better for initiations, while regular Naga is better for enemy phase. Overall, Divine Naga has a pretty simple effect, but it's really solid. Alright, so I think all these refines are pretty good for the most part. I do think Selleth has the weakest one by far out of the bunch, but it's not terrible. I actually believe that he's one of the guys that has the potential to pull off something crazy in the future when more bunker skills get added into the game, so don't sleep on him just yet. And that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about these new refines, especially Selleth's. I know that the community has mixed feelings about his Tyrfing, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.